Well, awesome. We got the man. We got the man of the CrossFit Games uh
Eh,
joining us. Is that true? Is that
I qualified one time during the 2020 Open, which actually took place in 2019. I qualified through the Open, which was finished in top 20 in the world on the online qualifier.
you finished 17th, right? Correct.
17th. Yep,
Yeah.
17th.
Now, I mean, to me, that's unreal, right? But like, were you pissed you were 17th and not first? I mean, obviously a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're probably like, that's a huge jump.
I was ecstatic that I was 17th because the
Okay.
year before that, I was like, I think I finished in the around 200. And the year before that, I was like 180 something. So for me to make that much improvement in a year, I was stoked to be 17th because I wasn't even expecting that.
Well, we're not going to talk about that stuff. That's the boring stuff. We're going to talk about the important stuff that you're a Carolina Panther fan. Tell me about that, man. You're from North
Born
Carolina?
from North Carolina. I was born in Pinehurst, North Carolina, and I lived about, I don't know which direction it was, but I lived in a little town called West End. That's where I grew up from the time that I was 18 years old, and I grew up watching the Panthers. And yep, till this day, no matter what, they're the best in the South. In the South.
I love it, man. You have a favorite player over the years that you like to watch?
Um, you know, I'm a huge fan of Christian McCaffrey. I can never get him on my fantasy team because he goes. I'm horrible at drafting, anyways. But I was a big D'Angelo Williams fan growing up. So and then also Greg Olson was a man. Are you filling his? Are you taking his role because he retired, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely not taking his role by any means, but I'm on the team. I am a tight end. Um, no, I'm not taking his role. We have some guys that are going to be fill his shoes a little bit better. I'll do a few things that Greg does, but
Okay.
definitely not in the receiving game. Try to. The opportunities may not be there as much for some other players that run a little bit better. I'll just say that. So Panthers fan D'Angelo Williams, big 3-4. There were some good years there. I mean, my first
Yeah.
game I remember watching was we're similar. I'm 27, you're 28. First game I remember watching was the Loam and the Panthers versus Brady in the Super Bowl. That's the first
Oh,
NFL game I remember.
I remember that. I think I was in the seventh grade
Yeah.
or eighth grade or something like that, and I went over to a friend's house, and I ended up having to leave early. And I was just like super disappointed. That was my first time because I remember that's when Steve Smith and they went into overtime to qualify, and Steve Smith caught like that 50-yard pass to win the game. I was like, dude, I was so pumped because that was like the first time the Panthers actually made it to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Ice up,
oh man,
son. Ice up. That's his quote. Ice up, son. Ice up. I think that's a great. That's the greatest spontaneous quote I've ever. I mean, I'm
yeah.
sure it's a little pre-recorded, predetermined. So
Mhm.
Panthers fan, I love it. You're from North Carolina, Pinehurst. Are you a golfer?
I try. I'm not good,
Yeah, neither am
but
I.
I
But
I I mean I get the ball to the green by par, and by doing that, I'm happy. So I try to. I'm thinking about taking, if I have some free time, I like to get some lessons because of yeah, because I went out and played with my buddies, and I'm only good through 9. After
yeah,
that, after the back 9, I'm nope, not good. I used to work at Pinehurst actually.
no way. Now,
So
what
yeah,
was your experience working there? What'd you do?
I was a cart attendant, and it was awesome. I got to drive carts around. I got to collect golf balls, and when the people were nice enough, they'd let me get some free beer out of the cart
There you
because
go.
they'd leave it because it was just leftover. So no, it was a good experience. I got to play some of the courses down there. I was when Pinehurst number 2 was actually going through construction when I worked there. So I played course number 1 and I think course number 3. So I mean, just to get out there and be able to play on Pinehurst is pretty cool.
Yeah, we bought. It's an awesome place. I went for the first time before we left for our summer little 5-week break here, but I
Mm-hmm.
played with a few guys from the Panthers, and we played course number 1, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And I played the best golf I've ever played in my entire life. I didn't lose a ball, which is an absolute miracle. It is a more than a miracle. The miracle on ice has nothing on this miracle. I didn't lose a ball and played okay. Broke 100
Yeah.
and had a lot of fun, and it's such a great time. Shout out to Jack Nance and the people over there. It was really cool. So no, I loved it. I was blown away how laid back the place was. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to go there and we had to be all tucked in and everything had to be like walking tall and proper. And
Right.
It was laid back. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was the most unique thing that I took away from it. I didn't expect whatsoever.
Yeah, it's the clubhouse there's awesome. The pro shop's awesome.
Yep.
It's just a neat place. And I mean, yeah, it's an
Yeah.
experience. If you're a golfer, you should definitely, that's one spot you need to definitely golf at.
No doubt. We played the par 3 barefoot after a rainstorm with some drinks and some cigars, and did a little putting contest on the mini putt thing. So yeah, no, for no free ads, we're giving an ad to Pinehurst here. So
Yeah.
appreciate you guys taking care of us. So talk about ads. You probably have some partners that you work with. I know of a few, but you have some partners that you work with. How did those relationships start in CrossFit Games, and who takes care of you? Who sponsors you?
So first off, the 10,000 clothing company. They're clothing company that's actually, they're known for their shorts, and they have their liners. They have interval shorts, session shorts, and foundation shorts, and their stuff is awesome. Like, I've never felt more comfortable in them, especially when I'm doing my workouts. My slogan for them is, I've never felt more comfortable being uncomfortable in a workout. So yeah, their stuff's great. They have liners inside. I like to wear them whenever they're doing when I'm doing like a lot of machine work, because I have really big legs, short legs, but really thick legs. So a lot of times the liners or compression shorts will start to rise up. So they actually stay in place, so which is nice. But yeah, 10,000 clothing company, and then FNX Fitness. They gets my supplements through them. They have all natural ingredients, so it really helps me out with maintaining a good healthy body weight and fueling me for long training days.
What do you do supplement wise, right? That's always a big question. You get from amateur athletes, I'm sure you get it from other people, obviously, and we're going to get into your diet.
Right.
Diet is everything. I'm assuming that's how you live by, but also some supplements. What are some of the supplements that you take?
So I take a pre-workout. This it's called the Recharge from them, but it's pre-workout. Just gives me that extra little bit of caffeine that I need. I do use it mostly for like my strength training, because when I do high intensity training, I'm trying to lower the heart rate as much as I can. So it's not really the best thing. I do creatine at night, and then I do a protein after each session. I do a protein shake with about 30 grams of protein, and a carbohydrate shake, which is about 50 grams of carbohydrates. So it's the powdered carbohydrates, so it's fast absorbent, and it just helps me recover faster. And then every now and then I'll drink some branched chain amino acids, mostly just because I get tired of the flavor of plain water. So it's just spiced up my life a little bit.
Yeah, I it's like so programmed to me, the plain water grind. Like, anybody who knows me is like crazy about water. Like in college, if we were walking around on campus at Temple without our gallon water jug, which I literally have right here next to me for those that can see it, like we had to have 6 a.m. punishment workout in the morning. Like, they were dead serious about hydration, and it was good because it taught me some really strong habits, and I think that's one thing that athletes don't even think about, is like your hydration level. Because we have, like, I coach high school, I've coached all levels, obviously I'm playing in all levels too. How do you attack your day hydration wise? Because that's a really struggle. You got to get up early, you're going to bed, you got kids, you have all these different things. And I think hydration is one thing that's all lost in this whole thing. Obviously not for you, but for, an average athlete or even someone trying to be better.
Right. So hydration. I wake up, I'm a coffee guy. I like to drink coffee in the morning.
Absolutely.
Don't talk to me until I drink my coffee. But I have like this thing that if I want my coffee, I have to slam 20 ounces of water first before I get it, because that'll start hydrating the body, get the body moving and everything, get the metabolism going. And then I don't really have, I know some people have those, you've seen those big jugs that have like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. You're doing it so well, you're hydrating. I don't try to do that. I try to drink 1 20-ounce liter of water about every 2 hours. And then that way it keeps me going. So a lot of times at work, I'll just be walking around and I'll just take sips just to try to stay hydrated. I stop drinking water though, or I try to stop drinking about 2 hours before bed, because I don't want that to interrupt my sleep by waking up and just, I got to use the bathroom every 2 hours, 3 hours, because then that'll interrupt my sleep, which is not good for recovery.
Yeah. Sleep's the number one thing. All these young kids that I work with that are just, what can I do? I'm like, sleep. You need to relax. because everyone, especially in the summer, I live in the Jersey Shore and Cape May, and like all the kids are all just off days. You know, we put a lifting program together with the football staff, and it's a good one. It's 3 days a week, and it's great for high school athletes. It's fantastic, but they go play basketball all weekend. And it just nullifies it. I'm like, guys, you got to eat. So it's fun. I've been doing the weight gain thing. We get the peanut butter and jellies rolling tremendously. But for
Oh yeah.
you, yeah, chocolate milks, the whole nine. So, but for you, weight gain wise, right? Or where's your weight at? Where do you want it to be? Is there something that you address at the end of every year? Like at the end of every season, I'm like, hey, I want to play a little 2 pounds heavier, 2 pounds lighter. Where are you at with your weight, and where do you want it to go?
So I fluctuate between 173 and 173 and 178. That's about my 5 pounds of fluctuation right there. I would like to. I'm 5'3", so I'm a much shorter athlete. I would like my weight to be up closer to 185. However, I've noticed that whenever my weight gets a little bit heavier, I start to move a little bit slower, but I feel better whenever I'm lifting and I feel stronger. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that, how to put on more weight, but also be able to move as efficient as I do now at a lighter weight. As far as I to be honest with you, I don't really work with a coach or anything. I have a buddy that kind of helped me out with getting my macros on count, which was way more than I was initially eating. He even told me, he goes, dude, I can't even believe you are doing what you're doing with what I'm eating. And still today, I struggle with getting enough calories in my body to even, I just got this, I just got this Whoop, Whoop thing.
They're cool.
Yeah. So I just started wearing one because 10,000 wanted us to wear one before this training camp that I just went to this past week up in Denver. And so they wanted us to wear it to start. Hey, it takes like 4 to 5 days to get it straightened out. And then I didn't realize how many calories a day I was burning on like a solid training day. I'm burning close to 4,000 calories a day.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't even think I'm eating half of that, or like, I don't even think I'm eating 3/4 of that. So just having that information oh man, that just knowing that how much calories you burn, or it's not exact, I'm sure, but it's a rough estimate, can just give you a good starting figure of where you need to be at as far as calorie intake and macro, and what kind of macros you need.
Routine for you, right? We all have our routines. You know, you're preparing for events in a distance, right? Or you're preparing for an event now, but what's your basic day-to-day routine? I know you're probably up early and you're trying to get to bed early too.
Yeah. So my routine is I wake up in the morning, and depending on what my training looks like for that week, I try to do something monostructure, whether it's running, rowing, biking, or doing the skiers, something monostructural in the morning, to knock out one session. And then at lunch, and then I'll go to work. I'm in the Navy, so I still work a full-time job. And so I'll work from about 6:30 to 11, and then 11 to 1 is I'll go in and do my strength session. I'm fortunate enough to have a gym right downstairs from where I work. So it's convenient, and I'm able to get a good 2-hour lifting session there. And then I'll go back to work, finish out the day. And then afterwards, I will go back to the gym for about another 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, depending on that. And I'm looking to, I used to have a home gym, so I would train a lot at home because of my family, but I'm up for transfer here soon, moving back down south. So my wife and my son already live down there. And so right now I have the afternoons open, but whenever I move back down there and I have family time, that I'll start doing majority of my workouts at home. And then in between pieces, I'll go outside, throw a baseball with my son or something. Cause each piece is only like 20 minutes at maximum, 30 minutes long. So then you need some time to recover, about 30 minutes between each piece, and then before you hit another one. So I like to have a home gym just to allow me to be at home with my family while still being able to train, especially if I don't get all my pieces in. Then once my son goes to bed, and I'll tell my wife, hey babe, I know you want me to hang out, but I got like 20 minutes. Let me just go out there and bust this real quick out. And she'll be like, really? I go, it's for a good cause. So depending if she's depending on if she's okay with it or whatever, then I'll go out there and do that. But yeah, that's my day. I'm usually in bed by 9:30 every night.
Love that. Yeah, that's the grind, man. I love it. And I'm sure you got the meal preps going throughout the day. Gotta love that
Yeah,
grind.
yeah. Meal preps I try to do on Sundays. If I'm lucky, I'm like, the food doesn't go bad by Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. That's always tough. No, I think, it's such a grind. I can only imagine, especially having a son. You talk about your wife. She's a new police officer. Congrats to her. Thank you for her service as well. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, she's it's been a long time talking about it, and she finally did it.
Good for her. Where's she out of?
She's out of Slidell Police Department in Louisiana.
Awesome. How's she liking it so far?
She loves it. It's long hours. It is long hours, but she was like, this job is awesome. It's never the same. So she loves it. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's so cool. It's
hard. It's hard work, she says, but especially since she's kind of in she's in her new phase. Like, so she's still being assessed and trained, but she's actually like doing the job instead of going through the pre-selection training, I guess you could say. But so she's still being assessed and in the learning phase under instruction, but she's loving it.
She's in the training camp phase, which we're about to hit, which is no fun, but the work phase, this in-season phase is fun. You got to make it fun, of course. And you do it, training, no doubt about it. So we brought up the Navy. We talked about the Navy. I'm a big Navy guy, beat Army. Everybody knows that, listens to the podcast. I love Annapolis, Maryland. You didn't go through Annapolis, but you just enlisted. So talk about the process of entering the Navy and maybe some journeys that it's taken you and why you wanted to serve the country.
Yeah. So it started when I was 17. I graduated high school. I didn't actually fill out any college applications because school wasn't my thing. And I was kind of partying a lot. And my parents sat down. My parents had to sit me down and have a talk with me like, hey, what are you going to do? And I finally decided I was like, I'm going to join the military. One of my good buddies growing up was joining the Marines. And I was like, hey, I'm going to join the Marines. He and I were going to join the Marines together. And my dad, like, I'm kind of glad I didn't join the Marines, but my dad was like, no, you're going to talk to all 4 branches of the military and you're going to make the decision. If that's the route you want to go, you're going to listen to what everyone has to say. And then after that, you can make your decision. So after talking to all the recruiters, I decided to join the Navy. My uncle was in the Navy. My grandfather was in the Navy. So I kind of was like, all right, let's go into the Navy. And I joined in 2011. I shipped out when I was 18 years old. So I've been in for a little over 10 years. I'm halfway over the mark now to a full-on career. And it's taken me to 14 other countries, 14 other countries. And it's given me friends. And, I've definitely matured a lot from being in the Navy. I remember getting out of boot camp and my mom was like, we're at breakfast. I'm eating breakfast. And I go, Mom, what's wrong? She goes, I just can't believe how actually how squared away you are now. You're such a different person. And I'm just like, she's like, she couldn't believe it, how much changed. But definitely helped me grow up a lot faster. And so then I went I was in San Diego for about 2 years. And then I moved down to Mississippi, Louisiana area was down there for about 7 years. And now I'm up at Great Lakes, fulfilling a instructor role up here.
That's awesome, man. Bouncing around. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Boot camp, where was that at?
It was in Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Up here. So I was fortunate enough to not go through the winter time. I went through around the April to July phase. So
we're in Cape May is where the Coast Guard's at. So you can hear them marching every Sunday, rolling through town, man. Cold in the wintertime, like February is blowing like 30, 40 miles an hour. It's like 20 degrees. And
the wind, like the Windy City here, I swear, if I walk outside, I moved up here from Louisiana
Yeah.
The like humid as can be, hot, doesn't like 70 degrees is January to this winter was a pretty rough winter. It got down to like negative 15 real feel or something like that. And I'm like, this is horrible. I don't know who wants to live here.
No. I mean, I'm from up in the Northeast. I'm kind of used to it by now, but everyone says you're used to it. Doesn't mean you enjoy it, but yes, you are
Right.
used to it. So did the Navy blend into the CrossFit stuff? How did that work?
So I was on a deployment, and it was my first deployment, and I was with one of my buddies, and we set like a deployment goal just to kind of like help pass the time, something to focus on. And other than like what the job is over there. So, our goal was to have, neither of us have had a 6-pack. So we're like, all right, let's get a 6-pack. Let's do it. And so we worked really, really hard for 3 months. Nothing. Because we didn't realize that having a 6-pack was all diet, because we're still eating like crap and like working out hard, but we're like, oh, we're working out hard so we can eat what we want, kind of thing. So, I was like 19, 20 years old. I didn't know nothing about
What's
any
the
of that
diet?
stuff.
What's the diet while you're deployed?
Honestly, it's kind of like depends on what you can get.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meat, a lot of bread, and a lot of rice.
Yeah. I love it, man.
And then a lot of fruit. That was pretty. I mean, it's pretty healthy stuff, but then every now and then, you get we'd get like care packages and be a bunch of candy bars and stuff.
Yeah, I
so
was gonna say it's all just like pastries and candy bars and whatever can be shipped well.
Yeah.
So you got into CrossFit that way.
Yeah. So after and then one of our buddies showed us a video of the old school guys back then. They were the guys that were competing at the CrossFit Games. And we just like saw a video of them. We're like, dude, all these guys are ripped. And like, this is what we need to do. So the next day we went in there and we designed our own workout. Took us like an hour and 15 minutes to do, because we didn't know what we were doing. Just pick 10 movements, 10 rounds of 10 reps, which is insane.
You're cooked. You're absolutely cooked.
Yeah.
You guys get through it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got through it. It was rough.
Yeah.
And then when I got back, so then we started just doing that stuff, not knowing what we were doing. And, we liked it because it was just a change of pace of stuff. And so then when I got back, the house that I lived in, or the house that I went back to in Louisiana, we were driving home, and I saw a CrossFit sign like right next to, it was CrossFit Finish Strong in Slidell, Louisiana. It was literally like 2 minutes walking from my house. And I said, cool, I'm going to go in there. And for like a week, I would go in there. I didn't realize that CrossFit had like class times. So I'd go in there every single day, like go up to it, like trying to see what's going on, how to like join the gym, and nobody was there. So I almost gave up on trying to go there, because I didn't know when the class times were. I didn't know there was a class. I didn't know what it was really. And so finally I walked in there one day. The owner was in there working out, and they're all like competitive guys that now that I know them, they're all competitive guys that I've started working out with. And he was just like, he goes, have you ever done CrossFit before? And I said, no, but I played football, I played baseball, and I'm pretty active. He goes, oh, we'll see what you got.
Because how many other people come up to him and say like, yeah, I was a high school athlete, here, I know what I'm doing. And then they get crushed in the gym. Probably 99 of 100, not even 9 out of 10.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you're the only one.
He's no, all those guys, if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for the group of guys there to like treat me like that, to kind of like get me started and push me, then I wouldn't be where I was today.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, we all have it, right? Like you look back,
Yeah.
there's like, this could be a loaded question, and we can always edit out if not, but there's always the 5 or so people you look back in your life that truly like molded you.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back and I have coaches and obviously my parents, but other than your parents, like there's like 4 or 5 coaches that in all strength coach, couple strength coaches, couple personal coaches, that have really changed me, like mentally shaped who I am today.
Right.
Who are those people for you, if you could say them?
I mean, to be honest with you, obviously my parents, as we said that already, you said that, but man, I tell you what, my friends that I've had going out through like that I've acquired through this through my Navy career. Like those guys, I mean, they just pushed me because they had the same mindset. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I was. And also like my mentors, they were two brothers down there, and then also another guy who I kind of started out with. Like they like helped me. Do you want me to say their names?
If you legally can say it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. So like my buddy Danny Diaz, like that dude's crazy. All right, he's the one that designed all those workouts before. He goes, and I was like, dude, this is a lot. He goes, we can do it. So he I'm telling you, my friends that just molded me. Then you got another buddy, Michael Hutchison. He's a good buddy of mine that like, you know, kept me like, he just helped motivate me even on deployment. He's like the guy that like when I'm feeling down, he'll be like, dude, like look at this, look how far you've come, look at how much you've accomplished. And dude, he just, you know what, you're right, dude. He's the optimistic side of things. And then I have another buddy, Tori Dallas, and then the two brothers, Christian Ruiz and Donovan Ruiz. Those three guys, like they would literally talk shit to me every single day. And it would just make me kind of like, it would kind of force me, or not force me, but it would just like, all right, I'm going to come for you. I'm going to get you. And that's just that competitive drive. So, but those are like, I mean, those are just some of that helped me get to where I am now. I wouldn't call them like role models, but like they are by far, you know, the people that have kind of assisted me in my CrossFit career.
Yeah. And, you know, CrossFit career, obviously your professional career in the Navy, and they're pillars that you can lean on. And that's for me, like I constantly, like the one thing I try to do now I'm a little bit more public with finally breaking into the NFL. It's been a couple of years for me. I've been in and out, but truly last year I played in every game, but the first one, and was a little more public. And I tried to just go out of my way to thank everybody as much as I can, like just because I'm not here without them. Like there's just no way, you know, for me, like there's just no shot. Everyone says that, you know, but for me as like a football player, like literally those people know who they are. Like I wouldn't have gained weight. I wouldn't have been physical. I wouldn't have been tough. I wouldn't have been competitive. I wouldn't have been whatever, resilient. Whatever those words are that it takes in any profession, especially in, you know, ours that are a little bit more physical. You know, you need an extra step. But how do you balance the physicality of your job, you know, CrossFit job, not a Navy job? I know that's a physicality with that too.
Yeah.
But with, you know, with work-life balance, you know, is it something that you put the life, you know, obviously you have your family, but the life outside the family, the life with your family, the travels, all that goes on pause for the Navy and for CrossFit?
So you talk about just like how by the CrossFit
calendar, like how do you balance all this? Like how do you create, like how do you go and you get to do family trips? Like you do things. I see the CrossFit calendar, I see you competing, I see your Instagram, like you're a moose, man. Like you're getting after it. You don't have that type of dedication. Like for me, like I'm gone 6-7 months a year, you know, and my family doesn't come with me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not deploying, but I'm going down to Charlotte, you know, with a mission, and, you know, a lot of things have to sacrifice. There's a lot of people that make sacrifices for me to be able to do what I do. You know, what are some of the, you know, is that a tough hurdle for you to swallow, tough pill for you to swallow, or that's just norm at this point?
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, I'm kind of used to being gone a lot. So it is kind of normal. And I try to maximize family time as much as I can.
Yeah.
With the whole training career, you know, it doesn't come first. So it's not what pays the bills. It's not what's going to be there forever, because my family's going to be there forever and stuff. How I mean, I try to make time. Time management is huge to me. And I even talk to people like, you know, you gotta, whenever people have struggle finding time to do stuff, I go, no, there's always time. You just have to plan it out. So I'll literally sit there and I'll plan out my day. Kind of like, okay, if I know, I'll look at my workouts and I say, okay, I can get this, because I train at like 3 different locations. So like my work, my home, and then my affiliate, CrossFit Kilter in Illinois. So like I'll sit there and like some equipment I don't have at other places. So I'll sit there and I'll plan it out. So, okay, I can get this piece in, get this piece in, get this piece in here, and then I can get that piece in later. And I'll just sit and plan it out. And time management is a huge thing. And then when it comes to like travel and with the family, I don't really travel that much for CrossFit, but like whenever I am traveling somewhere, I try to find a gym that's like close by so I can maximize my time. And so I can maximize my time at the gym besides that I have available. So time management is kind of like the big piece there.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's such a bear, especially with the family. You want to make sure you're getting that quality time, like you said, and then also your performance, right? You're talking about you got to sleep, you got to eat, you got to do. Like for me, I don't have kids, so right. And Sydney's working, so I'm here, I'm eating, I'm taking care of things, I'm podcasting, I got a little bit of everything going on, but you got to go to work and actually really do a job. So hey man, I just have tons of respect. Really tons of respect for what you're doing.
Appreciate
so you're talking
that.
about pieces in CrossFit. What's your favorite one? Like, what's your favorite thing? You're like, yes, we got this on the sledgehammer today. Yes, we're doing power cleans. Yes, we're doing pull-ups. I got a couple mile run. What's your favorite piece to do?
I like anything gymnastics related.
Really?
And yep, gymnastics related. And just because I just think it's fun. And other than that, it's like front squats. Oh. I like lifting I like deadlifting, back squatting, and front squatting. Yeah. However, like the Olympic lifting is my weakness. I'm not, my numbers are a little bit below average compared to the others, and I'm okay with that. I just know that's a weakness I got to work on. But I don't know. I like to do everything. The only thing I don't like to do is like all out effort on like cardio machines. I hate that, like sprints. It just jacks my heart rate up, and I just hate it.
What's the bike? What's the bike that you guys get on? I hate it.
The assault bike.
The worst thing on planet Earth.
I don't know who created it, but they are not good people.
They're a devil. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I forget what the conditioning we had to run like 300s when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I could look it up on my phone. I forget. It drives me crazy because I always talk about this all the time and I can't find it. But we had to run 300s in college. And if you couldn't run the 300s test, which was like literally from one point of the end zone around the field, you had to. It
wasn't the shuttle.
No, it was just max effort sprint. So guys took it differently, right? Like guys would do, they would jog around and then like sprint to finish. And then like I would literally sprint out of the blocks, literally max effort. So this is what it was. You got to make 7 out of 8 300s. We just had Jeremy Scott on our podcast. So I think this will go after Jeremy Scott, who was my strength coach with the Carolina Panthers and my strength coach at Temple, where I played in college.
Okay.
So you have to make 7 out of 8 300s. This is to go to training camp. If you didn't do this, you couldn't go. And this has like really nothing to do with football.
So it's like a cut. It's almost like a cut. Like, hey, you don't do this, better luck next year.
That was it, man. You could join the team when the season started. And we had guys that happened to. It was like straight up mental warfare. And then that's what it was about. It was like how bad you want it. So you had to make 7 out of 8 300s. And if you didn't, it was 8 miles in 20 minutes on the assault bike.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were about to say running. I was like, what?
8
miles in 20 minutes?
Yep.
I'm trying to do some quick math in my head. Yeah. That'd be tough. But the good thing with the football players is that assault bike is generous to the bigger people.
Is it?
It is. So
wow.
It's like I know guys that there's one guy that just did like a 50 calorie bike in 24 seconds, and the dude just he's a bigger guy.
He's just pumping, man.
Just pumping it. So but the distance doesn't really equivalent to calories in a way so maybe not, but I just know that it pays off to weigh a little bit more on that thing.
Who are some of the guys that you compete against in CrossFit that you're just like, yo, this guy's in another world?
Well, when I've competed against Matt Frazier, who was the 5 times fittest guy in the world.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And so that was the online qualifier. So he was, and then I mean, there's a bunch of the guys like Pat Vellner. Sean Sweeney, Tim Paulson. What
makes them different? What makes them stand out? Like to you, like is it obtainable thing or just God's gift?
No, I think that everybody, if you're at that level, everybody has the mentality that it's not like this, it's a lifestyle kind of thing. And I think that's what makes all those guys stand out, that they're willing to put in the sacrifice. They're willing to put in the work, the hard work. They know they don't want to slack off. A lot of the stuff is dialed in, and, it's just, they have everything in line to perform. And I think that's what makes a lot of those guys stand out. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different, it's a lifestyle, which, they're not are they working like you are?
Yeah, some of them are. Like I got
Yeah.
a buddy, Brandon Luckett, who I just went up to he was part of the 10,000 training camp that we went up there with. Myself, I just got back yesterday from it. Myself, Brandon Luckett, Sean Sweeney, Tim Paulson, and Cody Anderson. And Brandon Luckett has a full-time job. Tim, Cody, and Sean all own gyms. So they program for the gyms. They run the gyms. So they have their own business. They even do like their own online programming. So cool. They have that going for them. So like a lot of these guys, I mean, we have full-time jobs that we have to accomplish before we get to the actual training stuff.
What's next for CrossFit, as a whole, like TV wise, like, is there TV deals? Like, is the game growing more? CrossFit Games growing more? Where's it stand nationally?
I think nationally, I mean, there's a lot of, you go up to Madison, the CrossFit Games, and you have people from Russia, from China. They have
international.
They have a huge diversity. They're national. As far as television wise, I think last year they got a TV deal. It's like an all day thing, and it's based on separate time frames. So I don't know what their plans are for that. That's way above my pay grade.
Yeah.
To know that. But as far as they just changed their structure to how to qualify for the CrossFit Games, and this is their first year doing that. Every year before that's been different, kind of. So this is your first year doing it, and it makes a little bit more sense, a little bit easier to follow. So, and they have more. It allows for more people. So the different qualifying stages to get to that level. It allows more people to compete for longer to possibly accomplish their goals. So I think that this new format is going to stick for the longer run, hopefully. And I think we're going to start to see CrossFit grow a lot more, or as far as like the competitive side, competing for the for like qualifying spots.
Gyms are everywhere, that's for sure. All my travels, they really are. Every city you can go, and at least Olympic lift, and and that's for me. Like that's a pillar for me in my training is Olympic lifting. Again, I don't have crazy numbers, but I firmly believe in it with, mobility, flexibility, strength, functional movement for football, really is all of that stuff. So I firmly believe in it. And, learned a lot from Jeremy Scott, learned a lot from Dave Feely, Joe Holman, all my strength coaches over the years. I've had some great ones, Jesse Ackerman, Jeff Dillman. So some great guys, but hey man, we got to get you to a game. We got to get you to a Saints paint. Maybe, you guys come down to New Orleans.
So I got a funny story about that.
Okay, perfect.
So I live in Louisiana, right?
Okay.
And we stayed up, light went off. All right. So I live in Louisiana back then. I married into a family of Saints fans.
So did I.
So I was coached. Yeah. I mean, they're okay. They're good. They're cool. They're probably one of the better Saint fans. But except for my brother-in-law will just sit there and talk smack to me all game. But anyways, so I scored tickets to the Saints Panthers games at the Superdome from somebody. I got 4 tickets. So I brought my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my nephew. And they were I'm wearing my Panthers jersey, and I'm sitting there screaming in the Superdome. And we're sitting with a bunch of season ticket holders because I got tickets from some guy at the gym who had season tickets. And all the Saints fans turned to my family and was just like, "Who brought the Carolina fan?" And they're like, "Actually, the Carolina fan brought us." So
there you go.
But I got to watch the game. It didn't end up the way I was hoping, but I'd like to see the Saints try this year to get us.
That's right, man. I agree. listen, we got to get you down to a game, get you to New Orleans. I'd love to have you. That'd be awesome. Get the Not For Long media connection going. We got a couple other Not For Long media guests coming to games this year. So listen, man, I really appreciate your time. You're obviously an extremely busy man. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your service. Good luck with what's next CrossFit wise. And we really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. So talk to you soon, maybe.